Rambam. We are in the laws of Book of Purity, the laws of Kalim, which is implements, vessels, and how they become impure, and of course, purification necessary for them, to be used in a time of um, purity, which is like times the Holy Temple. Let's go straight into chapter 18. Any earthenware kli, which is implement, vessel, is not susceptible, earthenware, to ritual impurity unless it is a receptacle and was made with the intent that it serve as a receptacle, right? So if this were earthenware, it's a receptacle because it can receive some coffee, l'chaim, right? So, and and it was made with the intent that it should be a receptacle, right? If by contrast, it does not have a receptacle, or even if it has a receptacle, but it was not made to serve that purpose, it is not susceptible to impurity at all, neither according to scriptural or rabbinic law, right? So accordingly, a chair, a bed, a bench, a candelabra, or a table made from earthenware, or any similar kli that does not have a receptacle is not susceptible to impurity. Right? Similarly, a large pipe, even though water passes through it, right? And a pipe has a little receptacle in it, and even if it is curved, the pipe, right? Even when it holds water, it's pure. Why? Because it was not intended to contain water, but rather the water should pass through it. Right? Sounds more like a hookah than a pipe. I think those were the pipes back in the day, right? That water passed through it. Similarly, a barrel used by swimmers is not susceptible to impurity. It sounds like floaties. Leather or parchment would be tied to be used as a float. Yeah, it was floaties, right? Uh-huh. So I guess it's good. Let me know that it's done. This ruling also applies to a cask at the side of the base of a large barrel because it was made to serve as a handle for those who carry the large barrel and it's not intended to serve as a receptacle, right? So the barrel, even though, well, a big barrel like this, right, is a receptacle, if it was a big, right? But you put it around you, you're not using it as a receptacle of something. Excuse me. Therefore, it's not even its intent, even though it has a receptacle to it, is not for such a purpose, and therefore it's not susceptible. A lantern that has a receptacle for oil is susceptible to ritual impurity because the receptacle for oil is meant to be a receptacle for oil. It needs to hold oil in order that it could constantly be used as a light. If it lacks one, it is pure. In other words, I guess if it just had like a wick and from some other place oil was coming through the wick, but it had no place to hold oil, then the lantern would not be susceptible, right? Similarly, a potter's frame that has a receptacle is susceptible to impurity. The base placed in the potter's wheel. Ah, so a potter is using a base And if that base was, oh, shoot. Times. Okay. I'm there in 2, 3. You're by mommy? Okay. Okay. Be there in a moment. Bye. Folks, boy, do I have to run. Uh, I have take my mother.